Hello and welcome to day 5 of the challenge. In this one, we're going to switch gears just a little bit and we're going to talk about your actual blog post. Obviously, if you really want to get a blog to take off, you're going to have to create content that people want to read. A big part of that is going to be dealing with the search engine aspect of it in terms of putting stuff out there that people are looking for. But then there's also the other aspect of just thinking about the human being and what they're going to find interesting or useful. See, there's two different sides here. There's two different audiences. One is that you have your reader. Secondly, you have search engine spiders, and you cannot write the same way necessarily for both of them. Obviously, there's a lot of commonalities between them in terms of what they look for. I mean, that Google is always trying to make their spider and their indexing be as natural as possible because they want to serve the most relevant and helpful content to everybody that runs a web search. But sometimes you need to do things a little bit differently so you can catch people's attention when it comes to the actual human being. So there's three things that you need to think about when it comes to asking yourself whether a blog post that you're creating is actually good or not and actually worth putting out there. The first one is a technical one, and that is anybody searching for what you want to write about. Now, a very easy tool that I recommend that you use, and it's completely free, is the Google keyword tool. And let's go over to my screen for a minute and I'll simply show you what this thing looks like. So this is the Google keyword tool here, and you can see I just put in a quick little search for list building, ran a search, and I get a bunch of phrases here. List building techniques, list building strategies, club, etc., etc., etc. Now, the important things here, other than the phrases that it puts out, are the search volume. If you go to the global monthly searches, you can find out what kind of search volume these things are getting and also what the competition looks like. Now, ideally, what you're going to shoot for is something that has a fairly decent search volume as well as not very stiff competition. And then these are the kinds of things that you can build in. Let's say that we wanted to shoot for, well, Tellman, that's a dude's name. Let's see. Here's one, build your list. Got about 9,900 searches, pretty low competition, at least according to this. Now, you don't want to just say, oh, low competition and shoot for it. What you want to do is go over to Google and actually run this search and find out who's showing up in the top 10, who's showing up on page 1 of Google. And you can look at things like their page rank and things like that in order to find out how easily you think that you could probably get onto page 1 with your blog post. But what you want to do is you want to look at these things, find out if anybody is searching. I mean, if you put in something that you're looking for, like list building club, and you see there's only 140 searches. I mean, yeah, it has low competition, but there's hardly anybody looking for this. So you probably are not going to want to have something in your blog headline about list building club or anything like that. So this is a quick little tool, very easy, that you can use to get some basic intelligence when it comes to whether anybody's searching for what you're thinking about writing. So that's the Google keyword tool. Now, another tool that you might want to check out, and I'll link to it below, is called Market Samurai. Now, you may have heard about this before. Various people have promoted it, and I'm about to do the same to you, but I'm not going to pitch it to you. But it is a very, very useful tool when it comes to doing a lot more than what I just showed you, and doing it in a nice, easy way. So that's called Market Samurai, and I would encourage you to go check out that tool and look at some of the videos about the tool, because it's one of those tools that, even though it does a lot of things, it can make you go a little cross-eyed at the beginning. So I really encourage you to look through the videos that go with Market Samurai so you can figure out how to use that tool, and then you'll learn how to put it to use and get some really great intelligence in terms of what to put in your blog headlines, what to put in the post URLs, what kind of words to have in the post itself, and it will help you get your post ranked. Because obviously, if nobody's looking for what you are writing about, it's not going to do you any good. Now, a couple other quick points here about a good blog post. The second one is there a takeaway of some kind with the blog post? Is your reader going to read this post and feel like they've actually gotten something worthy of their time? Now, one thing that I've done in some points in the past is that I will actually give them something at the end of the blog post. For example, there's a blogger SEO checklist that I've actually written that I'm going to link to below this video, that actually at the end of it I gave away a free PDF file, just a simple direct download link of the checklist itself. So that was a takeaway that they could actually go with, and it increased the actual value of the blog post. The other thing from that standpoint of a downloadable is that if they take it and it's on their hard drive, they feel like they've actually gotten something from it, and they may actually return to it at some point in the future. My idea was that they were going to be referencing this blog post later on, because they're going to hopefully be applying this checklist when they actually publish stuff on their blog. So that's the idea of a takeaway. And then lastly, and this is all on this checklist, is your post unique in some way? Are you doing something that's a little bit different than you've seen other people do? For example, if everybody's doing written post, maybe you can do a video. If your subject tends to be a little bit dry, can you inject some humor into it? Can you do something that makes you stand out from the competition out there in your niche that is going to draw people over to you? So you need to be thinking about these things when it comes to actually writing a good blog post. You need to put yourself into the shoes of your reader and find out what they need and want and how you can best serve them, and make it so that it's very real to them that they actually did receive some value from you. And that is in turn what's going to get them to share out your stuff, share it on Facebook and Twitter and all this stuff, and it will help grow your traffic. So think about how you can apply this to your blog. And maybe if you have any ideas or you've seen some stuff work in the past, go ahead and post a comment below this video and share with the community. And I will see you tomorrow with day 6. See you then.